Honestly, guys, the best way to learn something is to just go and do it. That's why I made today's video for English learners who want to improve their listening and speaking at the same time. Welcome back to my 130,000 plus amazing students. Here's how today's video is going to work. Basically, we are going to have an English conversation together. We're going to chit chat. We're going to talk, and the rules are quite simple. First, watch me respond to a question, giving you a demonstration of how to do it yourself. Next, it will be your turn to talk. For bonus points, try to use the target vocab when you do so. Click like on this video, make sure you're subscribed, and let's dive in. The first question we are going to be thinking about and responding to today is, what is one dream you are currently working towards, and how do you plan to achieve it? Now, when you reply to this, try to use on track, which basically means you are headed in the right direction. You are doing what you should be doing. Here's an example. I'm on track to finish my degree next year. I'm going to go first. Here's my 30 seconds. Here's what I want to say. One dream that I am currently working towards, I'm working towards it right now, is doing YouTube full time for my full-time job. And yeah, I think that I am on track. I think that I am doing what I should be doing to achieve that dream, to make it happen. I'm uploading videos every week, creating new lessons, new content for my subscribers, and the channel is growing quickly. All right, that was my 30-second response to question number one. Now it's your turn. Push yourself to speak for the full 30 seconds, and if you can, try to use on track when you respond. Go ahead. Question number two for us to think about and respond to today. What's something that motivates you when you're feeling low or down in the dumps? So in other words, when you are not feeling so great, when you're feeling unhappy, discouraged, low, down in the dumps, not too thrilled or excited about life, what is something that motivates you? It gives you the inspiration to keep going. One expression you can try and use here is push through, which basically means keep going, even when things are difficult, right? Here's an example. Even when I'm tired, I always push through to meet my deadlines. So even if things are bad, if you have the willpower to keep going, you can say that you push through the bad times in order to get to the good times, right? I'll go first. Here's my 30 seconds. Yeah, when I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling discouraged, I think the thing that helps get me through those times, the thing that helps me push through those times is just letting go. Letting go of the stress, taking deep breaths, meditating, and putting everything in perspective. Are the things I'm worried about really so important? Usually they're not. That was my reply. Now it's your turn to try. Take the full 30 seconds, and if you can, try to use push through somewhere in your response. Go for it. Question 3 is a really interesting one. I can't wait to respond to this question and give you guys a chance to talk about it too. Here's the question: where do you see yourself in 5 years? What would an ideal life 5 years from now look like? I love this word ideal. This is a word we just talked about in my members only bonus video. If something is ideal, then that means it's kind of perfect. It's exactly what you want. It's the best case scenario, the best outcome, the best situation. A word that would be fantastic to use here is envision. This verb envision basically means picture. You can see something, right? I'm envisioning my future. I'm imagining my future. I can see my future. I'm thinking about it and seeing it in my head. That's envisioning. Here's an example sentence. I envision a picture-perfect house by the beach. So this person in the example sentence, maybe they're imagining their dream home. They're thinking about their future and they are envisioning a picture-perfect house. That means it looks so beautiful, looks so perfect, right? I'll go first. Here's my 30 seconds. You know, when I envision my life 5 years from now, when I think about what I want my life to be like 5 years from now, 5 years in the future, what comes to mind is my relationship with my wife. Well, right now she's my fiance, but we're getting married this year. I mostly just want the two of us to be together, to be healthy, to be happy. That's what matters most to me. Now it's your turn. Take the full 30 seconds. Really try to talk for that full 30 seconds. And if you can, use this bonus word, envision, envision. Give it a shot. Here's our next question to think about and talk about. Question 4, what advice would you give someone who's feeling lonely and maybe they're trying to make new friends? So you've got this person, they are feeling down, feeling isolated. Isolated is just another way of saying you are by yourself, you are alone, you are feeling lonely. Yeah, and they want to make new friends, right? So what advice would you give them? Do you have any suggestions, recommendations, advice for them on how to make this situation better? A really terrific expression that native speakers use all the time that we could use here in our response to this question is break the ice. Yeah, you guys are probably familiar with this one. It just means, you know, when you are in a social situation and maybe things are a little awkward, nobody's talking, no one is interacting, things feel stiff, forced, rigid, kind of weird, you can break the ice. Maybe you are the first one to speak. Maybe you are willing to put yourself out there and be the one to initiate conversation or begin conversation, right? That is breaking the ice, making things less awkward. Here's an example. A good way to break the ice is by sharing a funny story. Yeah, humor. Making people laugh is an awesome way to break the ice, right? Here's my reply. You know, if I think about advice that I would give someone who's feeling lonely, you know, someone who wants to expand their friend group, meet new people, stop feeling so isolated, I think what I would say to them is to go to some social groups, some clubs. What are you passionate about? What are your hobbies? Go to these clubs and don't be afraid to break the ice. You should be willing to be the first one to speak and interact with people. That's my reply to this prompt. What about you? What advice would you give a person asking this question? Go ahead, let's hear your response and try to use break the ice if you can. Go for it. Up next, we've got question 5. Let's take a look. If you could go back in time, time travel, and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? This is a super fun question. I'm really excited to talk about this one. Yeah, basically, it's just saying if you could go back in time, let's say maybe 10 years ago, and give yourself some advice, some words of wisdom, something useful that would help you in the future, what would you say? One expression that I'm going to use in my response is go easy on yourself. Just basically means be kind to yourself. Go easy on yourself when you make a mistake. Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself would be the opposite of this expression, right? If someone is hard on themselves, then maybe they beat themselves up all the time over small mistakes that they make. They say something a little bit wrong, they do something a little bit wrong, and they beat themselves up over it. They feel really bad about it, right? Here's an example. Even if you fail, remember to go easy on yourself. Okay, here's my response. If I think back to high school Connor, and if I imagine some advice I would give to high school Connor, this would be it. I would say go easy on yourself. Don't be so critical. Yeah, I'm the kind of person who, if I make a mistake, I'm very hard on myself. And I think if I could go back and tell myself this, I could save myself a lot of stress. Now it's your turn. Take your 30 seconds. You can use this bonus vocab or something else if you would like to. Go for it. Let's take a look at question 6 here. Let's talk about a time when you made a mistake at work or school. How did you deal with it? Another way of saying deal with it might be cope. Cope. How did you manage your feelings in this situation? How did you handle the stress of having made that mistake, right? So here's our target vocabulary. Here's something you can try and use. Own up to. A really useful expression. If you own up to something, what does that mean? It means you admit that you made a mistake. You take the high road. You assume responsibility for something that you did wrong. You try to be a big person and say, you know what? I admit it. I made a mistake, and I'm happy to own up to that. I'm happy to admit that, yes, I messed up. Here's an example sentence. I owned up to my mistake and apologized to my team. Now, a lesser person might not do that. There's plenty of people who do not own up to their mistakes, right? In fact, they try to pretend like everything's fine, like they didn't make any mistake at all. And they would certainly never apologize for their mistakes, right? I'll go first. Yeah, I remember a time at work when I overslept. I made a big mistake and I was hours and hours late to work. And it was a really bad situation because I missed a very important meeting. And you know what? I made a huge mistake, but in my defense, I did own up to it. I apologized, and to be fair, it never happened again. So, what more can you do, really? That was my response. Now it's your turn. Reply to this question. Talk about a mistake that you made at work or in school, and try to use own up to if you can. Give it a shot. Question 7. We are flying along. Here's a pretty fun and different question for us. What does your perfect vacation look like? What activities would you enjoy the most, right? So, if you could design your dream vacation, your ideal vacation, to use a word from earlier in the video, what would it look like? Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you go with, right? These kinds of details. A great term or vocab word you could use here is recharge. Yeah, like a battery, like a cell phone. But we can also use this when we're talking about our energy. Maybe we feel depleted. Depleted. That means totally burnt out, drained of energy, really tired, right? And you need to recharge. Well, people have lots of different ways of recharging. Another way to think about it is rest. Here's an example. I love beach vacations because they really help me recharge. Yeah, so this person loves to lay on the beach and relax and chill, right? That's how they rest, how they recharge. Here's my response. I think my ideal vacation, my perfect vacation, is in Italy with my wife and maybe some good friends, drinking delicious wine and drinking delicious coffee and eating delicious food as well. Beer, wine, coffee, good food, just chilling with my friends. That is how I like to recharge. Now it's your turn. Take your 30 seconds, try and respond to this, and use recharge if you can. Go for it. Here's question 8. If you could change one thing about your daily routine, what would it be? And more importantly, why? Yeah, your daily routine is like the little things you do when you go about your day. Maybe getting ready in the morning, maybe your commute to work, maybe how you actually go about your work day, maybe your after work routine. What do you do after getting off of work? Yeah, where do you go? Do you listen to music? Do you have a drink somewhere? Do you meet up with friends? Do you go home and chill and, watch a show or watch a movie? These are all aspects, elements of your routine, parts of your routine, right? A really terrific expression that we could use here is switch things up. Switch things up. Yeah, that just means make a change. make a change, try something new. I'd like to switch things up by starting my mornings with a workout. I'd like to try something new by starting my mornings with a workout. I would like to make a change, do something fresh, new, right? Here's my 30-second response. If I could switch something up about my daily routine, I think it would have to be waking up early and waking up early consistently. That means the same time every day, waking up at the same time and waking up early, right? Man, if I could get up at 8 a.m., it's not even that early, right? A lot of people wake up earlier than that, but if I could do that every day, that would be awesome. That was my response. Now it's your turn. Take those 30 seconds and try to switch things up somewhere in your response. Go for it. Here's an interesting question. What's the most important thing you've learned about handling stress, dealing with stress, right? How do you stay calm in this crazy, crazy world? So, a really terrific expression to use here is take it easy. Take it easy. Just means, don't try too hard. Remember to relax every now and then. We can say take it easy, or we can say take life easy. Remember to take life easy. Yeah, here's an example. Meditating relaxes me and helps me take it easy. Okay, here's my response. Recently when I've felt overwhelmed, when I've felt like I'm in over my head, when I've felt like I'm up to my neck, up to the gills with work and stress and responsibility, one thing that I've loved to do that helps me take it easy is to go for a slow walk in the park across the street from my house. Very slow, mindful walking. I feel totally different afterwards every time I do this. A really great habit. That's my response. Now it's your turn. Push yourself. We're almost done, guys. And if you can, try to use take it easy somewhere in your response. Go for it. All right, we are at question 10, the final question, the final boss of today's video. Here it is. It's a really fun question. If you had to choose or make a decision between working a job that pays well, so lots of money, but it's boring, and here's option B, here's the other choice, a job you love, you really enjoy it, but it doesn't pay very much. Which would you pick and why? One expression you could use here is follow your passion. Yeah, maybe if option 2 sounds more enticing to you, sounds like the better choice to you, then you could use follow your passion. It just means that you follow your dreams. You do the things you love to do, even if it doesn't pay very well, even if you don't get rich doing it, right? So here's an example. I'd rather follow my passion, even if it means earning less. Now this time, because it's the final question, I would like to push you to speak for 1 minute, not 30 seconds, and I will as well. Here I go. I think my answer to this could be a little disappointing to some people and maybe even a little bit disappointing to me, but I think I might choose option one. Now, why do I say that? Why would I pick a boring job that pays really well and give up on my dreams? Well, the answer is that I'm getting married soon. And who knows, maybe down the road, we're going to want a family. We're going to want to start a family. Well, when you do that, your life is not so much about you anymore. It doesn't revolve around you as much as it used to. You have to take your family into consideration. And I think if I was making a lot of money and I could provide a stable life, a stable lifestyle for my family, and make sure that everyone is taken care of, then in that situation, that would be the most important thing. Okay, that was my 1 minute response. Now it's your turn. Push yourself, go for it. I really love making this style of video. I love chill, casual, laid back, relaxed conversations, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this too. If you did enjoy it, be sure you click on the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Maybe you can even leave me a comment replying to one of the questions in this video so I can know exactly how you feel about it or what you think. And here's something fun. If you have a question that you'd like to practice talking about with me, leave it down in the comments section. Yeah, post it in the comments section, and maybe I will use it in the next episode. Maybe you will be in my next video. And if you are in the middle of a study session, don't stop. Keep going. I'm going to put another one of my videos up on the screen. Go click on it, and I'll meet you there.